light jacket, that baseball hat. I'm ready to just go outside and enjoy the good weather. So I'm very lucky and very blessed to be here right now and just enjoy the holidays.
So before we go any further, me and Ariel partnered up with the Hugh Jackson Foundation the other day. They're all about helping people out and the kids avoid human trafficking. So they want us to expose them and tell the guests to look up their foundation and help out in any way. And we're trying to come up with ways to make the community safer. So it's called the Hugh Jackson Foundation. Go check it out. They're doing a fantastic job, and me and Ariel are glad to be part of it, helping them prevent human trafficking. So I just want
awesome. I definitely will go check it out. That is a big problem, and I would love to be a part of the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk a little bit about you. So tell us about your journey. Like, what made you want to get into sports broadcasting? So talk about when you were little all the way up to now.
So growing up, I've always had a huge passion and fascination for sports. Never, probably until college, did I ever think I would want to get into sports broadcasting and sports reporting. I've been a dancer my entire life. In the previous podcast that I've been on, I talked about, I've been an NBA dancer the past 2 years, and I had just always known from a young age that at one point when I wanted to be done dancing and just fully invest in my career, that I was going to be getting into sports reporting and all of that. Mm-hmm. So it all just kind of started probably just as a little kid. I've always been involved in sports in some way or another. And and then finally, I kind of made the decision this past season to retire once the pandemic hit. I was a little unsure on, what I knew that I wanted to start my career, but everything, was so up in the air. Finding a job was very difficult via pandemic, trust me. Just trying to get into the industry after being, I feel like so many times my hardest part was when I was in college. And I hear that you actually are at Alabama or in Alabama.
Yeah, that was one of my other questions after this. So
yeah, so roll tide.
Yes.
Well, so I was on the Alabama dance team, and that was year round. So I really had absolutely no time as far as internships or anything. So as far as getting to work at sports networks and stuff like that while I was in college, it was almost non-existent. I could only be there when I could. Mm-hmm. So once I graduated from college, I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to dance while I can, because I can dance. I can only dance for a certain amount of time. I can start my career forever. So that's what I did. And like I said, once I hit my second season, I was kind of like, you know what? I think I'm ready to start really looking and starting to invest in my career. And then all of 2020, I just worked hard. I searched for jobs as much as I could. And how I even ended up with D210 Sports, was I actually reached out to the network. Like I just said, hey, I have this much experience. I worked at Fox Sports Detroit for this long. I did this while I was in college. I've been an NBA dancer. And here's my resume. And they literally reached back out to me and gave me an interview, and that was that. I was so beyond lucky because they were in need of some reporters. So that's just how it happened.
I love that for you. Congratulations on the job.
Thank you. I know it was kind of probably how I was explaining it. It literally went like this, but that's exactly my my life is like this. So that is probably why I explained it like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
We're still trying to figure out how to balance off of each other. We're still trying to
No. So what are you most looking for? I know that you said I saw a video that you're starting next year sometime in January. So what are you most looking forward to next year when you start with them? And obviously they're Dallas based, so I'm a Cowboy fan, so I'm really looking forward to you covering Dallas sports. But for yourself, what are you most looking forward to next year?
I am looking forward to just being in Dallas, and I feel like it's the perfect place for me to take that full first step in my career. I'm just looking forward to being able to report all the Dallas sports. I will be starting off with the Dallas soccer team and WNBA. Then when spring baseball starts, I'll go into that field. And then of course, once we, the Cowboys start their off season again and everything like that, I will hopefully get to start into that field once summer hits, like the, May, June era. So I'm just really excited to be there. I feel like it's just the perfect place for me because I have such a huge passion of sports, and what bigger city for sports than to be in Dallas. So, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, right on the perfect timing. And I'm just so grateful that I get to be in Dallas. And believe it or not, I'm actually not worried about moving there just like by myself. There have been a number of people that have reached out to me from high school, from college, that have said, hey, I live here if you need help, if you want to, go grab a bite to eat. Just so much support and positivity have just flooded into me, that I am just not even nervous or worried about this move. I'm a very free spirit. I can really just move anywhere I want. I feel like I make friends easily, but the just amount of pouring of just positivity and people telling me, hey, I'm here if you need me. Like, I live in Dallas. So I'm really just excited about it. I'm happy.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what you do. And I want to backtrack a little bit. Let's talk about your time as an Alabama dancer on the dance team and also as an NBA dancer, because a lot of people don't realize how intense that is in auditioning, preparing for games, traveling with the teams. Like, kind of go over your experience as a dancer professionally and in college.
So
when I mean, it wouldn't be 2020 without a little hiccup. I mean,
I got a hiccup at this moment in the beginning.
Can you hear?
Okay, there we go.
I told Nathan, I was like, I mean, it wouldn't be 2020 without a little bit of a hiccup for one of us. I think, like with the camera.
Right. Okay, so everybody can hear me. We're all good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So when I made Alabama dance team and just that transition, my hometown is in Orange County, California. People ask me, did you get culture shock? And I kid you not, I didn't even have time to get culture shock because after auditions, you're right. You are right to it. You're learning your dances, you're learning your cheers, you have workouts, and you are literally from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. on the go, just dance practice. That's just the summer portion.
Yeah.
And then when I was figuring out how to balance class and I was in a sorority, and let alone, like I said, 5 a.m. morning workouts, it was exhausting, but it was single-handedly the best experience I could have ever had in my life. There's nothing like being on that Alabama football field or on the Alabama basketball court. There's just no other feeling. I feel like the fans and the screaming roars is exactly what gives me the adrenaline and just like my purpose in life, to be honest. I just can't, the best experience of my life is definitely with the dance team in Alabama. I got to compete. I really got the best of both worlds, just being on the cheerleading side of being on the field and on the court, and even gymnastics and baseball. We were at so many different sporting events, and it just grew my passion even more for sports as I was just taking, all my journalism classes, communication, everything. I just knew what I wanted to do. And then yes, I did the different route. I did not just go and get the normal job after college. I became an NBA dancer. And yes, it is exhausting. I definitely did not know going into it how I thought college was exhausting. And then it was when I got to the professional level, I was like, oh, I already know this. I've had the hard part. No. The hard part was definitely when I got to the professional level. Just because you also, we all have separate jobs outside of being NBA dancers, whether it's being teachers, nurses, servers, bartenders, we all have have a separate income. So then you're learning how to balance your other life, your other career, and remember all the dances. You have games. You have to win your workouts. It is a lot, and it's really 24/7, and then your separate life. It's like there's just not hours in the day. But again, I was lucky enough to do it for 2 seasons with 2 different teams, when a lot of people, a lot of girls, you know, would just dream to at least get one or just make it onto a team. So I just always stress this enough. I could not be more blessed in my life to be able to do what I do. But all of it is definitely hard work, determination, and a whole passion. You definitely have to just love what you do. But I'm always so motivated again by just the crowd, the roaring. It's always just fueled me for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So for you, so obviously being a dancer and being close with the players on the sideline. So for you, what's it gonna be like now reporting for these teams and now getting to interview these players on a different aspect? So what's that gonna be like when you start doing that?
So it's so funny, you know, on my reel, I have like a few interviews with players and stuff like that. But, you know, like you said, to be on the court, to be on the field, I'm getting to just, you know, on cue, on action, ask these athletes questions. You know, how are you feeling about the game? You know, what are you going to be looking forward to in the second half? How can you improve? Just those on-site, the questions just right away. I'm very excited about. It's going to be different because it's not, you know, pre-rehearsed. Like, and, you know, like you put on a demo or on a reel, you know, you can just talk to athletes and be like, hey, you know, I'm going to ask you these questions. So it is a different standpoint. And I know a lot of NBA dancers or NFL cheerleaders, you know, I don't really know many that try and step in, stay in the sports industry. I do know of some NBA dancers or that go to the entertainment side, you know, that they will become in-game arena hosts or stuff like that. But as far as being a sports reporter, I really don't know anybody else that really I guess is doing what I'm. So I guess in a future for people who are looking up to me, you guys can do it. I want to say that to all the future girls and boys, you know, boys like dancers too, cheerleaders too, just that you can do it. You can be a part of the sports industry and you can complete all your passions and complete what you want to do in life. It takes a lot of work, but you can do it.
Yeah, I just have a follow-up question to that real quick. So I know that so you have a lot of now a support system in that network. So what's it going to be like working with Brianna Dix and Whitley Pleasant, and then you have all these other talented reporters. So what's it going to be like working with them now?
I'm really just excited to learn more than them. There's still, because I am the person that will admittedly say right away, I am not perfect. I definitely always want to perfect my craft in journalism and even like being a writer. I've been able to get some of the writers on the team, and like I said, it's like they can help me and I can help them. Yeah. So I'm just looking forward to my craft for sure and becoming the best reporter that I can be.
Yeah. At this point in career, what is like the biggest lesson you've learned? I know you're still like, this is like a new thing for you, but like, what is the biggest life lesson you've learned so far with the hiring process and, you know, going to Dallas when you go there?
Whew, don't give up. Just don't give up, because I will tell you, especially the year I choose to invest in my career and be like, hey, you know what, I'm going to be done dancing. I'm ready to make the transition into what I want to do. Of course, is the year we enter a pandemic. And I heard no after no after no after rejection, literally, quite frankly, all year. It was right before the year ends that I hear that one yes. And like I said, I mean, I know I had said I had been with Fox Detroit, but it was only for a brief period. Just gotten hired on, and then the pandemic hit. So I was only able to be there for such a brief time and learn what I can. So definitely, there were many times I wanted to be like, maybe I should just, you know, go into accounting or something, you know, something that I know I could just easily get a job. But my advice to myself was, and what I just kept telling myself was, you know, what is life worth living if you're not doing something you absolutely want to do?
Yeah.
Like, you're only here one time, you might as well. And it may seem like a long time, but it's a short time. So for the short time that you're here, you might as well do something that you're just so passionate. There's no point in doing a job that you'd be miserable in. So that's kind of, I just kept telling myself, nope, you have to have faith. You have to just keep pushing and someone will hire you. And I had to keep telling myself, it's also not my fault because we're in a pandemic. No one was hiring, like people are just, businesses are just trying to get on their feet because for the longest portion, we weren't watch boards. There was nothing to report, you know what I mean? For, stats, a few games here and there, but there is not much going on. So like I said, perseverance. Perseverance was the biggest factor. If there's anything I learned, it was to keep going and to persevere through all the rejection, for sure.
So, sorry, go.
Oh no, I was just agreeing.
Yeah. So so obviously they said that you're gonna start in January, but did they give you like any updates when you're gonna go there, start, and is it like?
Yeah, so I actually will be moving the second week of January, and as soon as I am moved in, I've already have my apartment and everything. As soon as I moved in is when I'll start. So very, very soon, within these next 2 to 3 weeks.
I have a question. I kind of want to start asking reporters this too, because like for me, like I have in my reporter bag, I have, certain things I keep with me 24/7. Like I always keep a paperclip with me just in case I need to hook a lav mic on where,
yes.
Yeah, like little tips and tricks. So what do you have in your reporter bag, or what is your go-to things, necessities in your bag?
Note cards to study before I talk about a topic, whether it's especially now that I'm moving to a new city and I can only keep up with so many teams in one city, but definitely even from my boss, he just said make sure you study before the game that you're about to report. Make sure you just you stay on top of what you're talking about. That's whether that's knowing the players, who the starters are, what are their stats. So I like to write some note cards and just know the facts about the players. I don't like to say players, the athletes, because they are athletes. Yeah. Just like I said, just to know what I'm talking about, just like little bullet points. So, and that's how I remember them. And I'll probably look at them the night before, even like, a few minutes before I'm supposed to do an interview with them, just like I said. So I just have it on the top of my head and I don't have to stutter. I don't have to, think about it. And it really helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you need any like Dallas Cowboys tips, I'm here. I'm here. So like I know I'm a big Dallas Cowboy fan, so I know a lot about the team history and everything. So
go ahead.
Yeah. So so my next question here. So going into next year, and so how grateful are you to be in this position? And like you said before, our first interview, you wanted to make this happen. You did make it happen. So how grateful are you to be in this position for yourself and now and realizing that you're going to live your dream now?
It's really surreal. I honestly keep checking to see if it's real. To be honest, I keep on being like, why am I moving to Dallas? Oh yeah, like I actually like got a role there. That's crazy. Yeah. It's very surreal, and I don't even think it's hit yet. Probably because I'm still, just finishing up with the holidays and all, just mentally preparing for it. But I can't even explain my gratitude and how grateful I am to be where I am, especially, I'm very big on dream boards. Wow. Can't talk. I'm very big on dream boards and just visions. And I had set my dream board, at the beginning of January, and I just wrote down everything I wanted, and one thing was to get a sports reporter role. And I keep laughing at myself, and even my mom keeps laughing. She's like, you got the last thing on there right before 2020 ends. And I'm like, hey, look at God, it happens like that. So it's really just a surreal feeling, and I am just so happy that I'm getting the to do this and just getting to again start my craft, learn more from my craft, and yeah, I'm just really excited.
And then my final question before we head into our little rapid fire section that we like to do with each of our guests is, we're talking about women in sports, and obviously, like, I want to be a sports reporter. You are one now, your dream board, that is so cute. So what do you see the future? I actually might do that, because I'm a graduate student, so I'm trying to get a job at the end. So I'm going to do that dream board. So I love that. Yes, I love that. I might have to message you, be like, how did you do yours? So, but my question,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, even my dream board is a reflection of me. So, and when I made it, I was still an NBA dancer, but a reflection of me is I love everything sparkled and happy. I kid you not. I hairspray on my dream board. I bullet pointed everything I wanted to even little things. I have always been a PC girl with a computer as my computer. I've always had a PC. I said, you know what? I know I need a Mac. Like, it will help me benefit my career if I have a Mac. Lucky enough, my family spoils me. And on Black Friday, they were like, you said you needed a Mac. So here you go. Early Christmas present. Like, thank you. Like, just dropping thank you. I love you guys. But like I said, just to the little things, I remember I even said, make a savings account, make a bigger savings account, invest more. Just like to the little bullet points that you just don't think about on the daily that could help benefit your life. And like I said, a reflection of me is, I kid you not, I took a can of hairspray and I took painted, or like not painted glitter, like legit, like a jar of glitter, and I sprinkled it on dream board and I sprayed it just because it was me. I was like, I love sparkles. I love just shining and, being positive. And so I was like, yep, my dream board is going to have sticky sparkles on it. That's exactly what's going to happen. So that's what I did. So if you need any tips on how to just make your dream board reflect a reflection of you, you choose your favorite colors. Mine is pink. I'm super girly. So mine is pink and sparkles and has a hairspray, and just like I said, bullet points of just motivational things that you want out the year. And when you see it and you believe it, I kid you not, I swear by manifestation, it will happen.
Yes, I love the dream boards, and I'm definitely going to do that. But what do you think the future of women's sports, like being a female, like what do you think needs to happen? How important are women in this industry?
Oh my gosh. I mean, if anything, one woman I'm looking up to just right now is Sarah Fuller, because she became the first woman to play in, a Power 5 team and score, let alone. So if anything, she's probably someone I look up to, and just to say that we can do it. We may be women, but we're stronger. Okay, I won't say that. We are strong, just as strong, because I like to be equal. We're strong, we are independent, and we can do anything too. So I would say just us women being in sports can be just as serious. We can be just as powerful as a man can do it as well. So, and Sarah, like I said, I feel it as though Sarah Fuller is the perfect example of that. I look up to her. Like, she is an inspiration. I'm like, wow. I mean, I love football. I would, if I could put some pads on and not, get knocked down,
Oh yeah, totally. I love that. Right, rapid fire.
Sarah Fuller is really when I heard that story, and she's my new fan. I mean, I'm her new fan, and so it's like it's amazing what I'm seeing, and especially for example, like the first female GM in baseball, Kim Nang, and then obviously we got the first female vice president. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing in women in sports, and not only sports but the other areas of business. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. But
women empowerment, I love it.
But so Raya, about this rapid fire segment, so we're gonna just fire some away. So Raya, you want to start it off first?
So I'm gonna start it off. So down south, we're West Coast.
Oh, down south.
So I'm not too sure if you saw Kawhi Leonard's segment on the Jimmy Kimmel show. Apparently Jimmy Kimmel made Kawhi laugh like more than other people can. So I don't know if you saw it, but okay. So what did you learn about Kawhi's personality that no one else knew about? because I think
he's obviously he's goofy on the inside, and on the court he's very like, but then he has like this complete goofy side. Definitely say he's probably just a hidden goofball, and I'm sure teammates know that about him too.
Yeah.
My next one is Starbucks or Dunkin'.
Oh, Starbucks. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm bougie on that topic. I really have Starbucks downstairs in my kitchen. Like the packaging, it has to be bold intensity flavored. Starbucks.
All right. So who would be your dream guest to interview in Dallas? Like Hall of Famer, or who would be your dream guest to interview in Dallas?
Ooh, probably. I want to hear about his recovery and how he's doing, and just to know the future that he is set in his mind for himself, like his comeback, what he's determined for. And I would really he's definitely somebody I would want to talk to and interview.
Yeah.
I have a couple Alabama. I have 2 rapid fire Alabama questions for you. Okay. Derrick Henry or Najee Harris?
Ooh.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I love Derrick. And my next one is Tua or Jalen?
Ooh.
Tua. I'm going to say Tua. But I can't think of them just so as equal, because they have 2 different powerful they're unique. They're powerful in different ways. I look at Tua just that cannon arm. And then I look at Jalen with a cannon arm and can run. Now, I'm not going to say Tua can't run, but Jalen definitely, I would say he's known more for the way he can run and then throw the ball. But Tua is just like the cannon, just cannon all the way down, down the field, and that's it.
I agree. I agree on that one.
Yeah, so hopefully by next year we get some fans in the stadiums, but I know that football has some fans, but how weird is it not seeing fans in basketball games though?
Well, I've actually been seeing some footage. I have my best friend group that is with the Detroit Piston Dancers, and I see all of their footage from the games, because they're one of the teams that they don't have fans, but they are in the stands dancing, I guess, so to speak. They have their masks on and they're just there at least for some support for the players, just so that they're not looking at, walls, I guess. And, just some environment. And all tell me that it is weird. It's like, and it's more exhausting because the cameras are all just panning to the dancers, or they're trying to figure out like fillers basically, for the game, so that, and they say it's really, really exhausting, but it's weird to me. I'm very, very looking forward. I'm like, I had to pause because I can't even like explain how bad I want fans back. I know that a lot of teams are just not going to start out with fans, but they will be moving slowly towards fans coming in, at small minimal people at a time. But then I do know some arenas that are like, hey, we'll start out with 3,000 fans flat, which I think is good. You can still be socially distanced and stay safe and healthy through that. But yes, when we get back to everybody just having more of a normalcy, I will be looking forward to that, because it just, like, having a crowd, just, it fuels your soul. It makes you just happy. I swear it does.
Yeah.
So before we get to the last few things, I'm going to put you on the spot here real quick. So since you're going to be covering Dallas sports, all right, so outside of all the Dallas teams, who do you think will win the championship first in the next 2 years?
The Mavs. The Mavs.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
No, I agree 100%. Dallas Cowboys, there's no freaking way unless Eric Jones gives up some of that money to different places before they're going to win a championship.
So I know that I already asked you about Kobe's legacy and John in the first interview, but I want to ask you again. What are your thoughts on Kobe? What did Kobe mean to you and his daughter?
Kobe just meant being just a huge inspiration to not only basketball players, future basketball players, but just as being a human. He was just a inspirational, good human being. Obviously his daughter was about to be, was a mini version of him. And if not, he swore she was going to be better than him one day. And I just, in the inspiration that he left and the legacy that he left behind, it still is very moving. And I can't even believe that next month it will be a year already since he has been gone. And it's just, but that is what he meant for me. And he really even swears by that you can do whatever you want in this life. And, nothing can stop you except you. And so I feel as though that if there's anything that carried me through 2020 was that advice and that legacy that he left here, was that do what you want to do with this life, and you can do it and never give up.
Yeah, and like 2 days ago was the day 3 years ago that they retired Kobe's 2 jersey numbers, A and 24, and that was I posted something about that, and it's just devastating. And he was one of my role models too. But the last thing here, obviously, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and essential workers?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for just being the front line, the people that are legitimately risking their lives to make sure as a society gets better, we get healthier, we stay educated, and again, just being the guard for what we need right now. That's what I could say, is just thank you. Please keep helping us. Please.
Yeah, they're amazing. They deserve a pay raise, and they're the real MVPs.
Oh, they deserve everything.
But there it is, episode 647 with returning guest Raya Turner, former dancer, NBA dancer, now heading to her dream job, which is sports reporting at D210 Sports. Man, we're just happy for you. I'm really proud of you. You came a long way, and keep up the great work. You're such an inspiration, and you're going to do great things for them. And obviously you have a great support system with Brittany Bowen, Whitley Pleasant, and I connected with a few of them already. So they're really great women, and you're going to do great things. But thank you again, and you and your family stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me again, and you guys stay safe. And yes, look for me in 2021.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Right.